Welcome to this edition of the Ultimate Combat Experience. I'm Mike Stenenboim, joined by the greasy biker, Todd Reed. We got a lot of fights on the card tonight, man. Everybody came at the same time. They said, we want to fight tonight, and we said, that's what we do, so let's do it.
Well, it should be a great night. Yeah, a lot of fights. If they all go the distance, we're going to be here all night.
So, look, man, before you head to bed tonight, though, you got to check out thegreasybiker.com. It's the place to go to find all kinds of cool motorcycle swag, and what else might they find there?
You know, we got some artwork coming out. We're sticking our name on everything. Leather, silver. You want it, we got it.
Sweet, let's do it. It's the Ultimate Combat Experience coming right at you. All right, Jason Dalton and Mike Darcy are a couple guys that, we mentioned in the show, but you're probably not going to see in the big leagues anytime soon, but they want to fight all the time. And so finally we put the two of them together, Mike Darcy and Jason Dalton. I think this is a pretty good matchup. The only bad part about this is both of them are they tap easy, they tap quick. But when you put them against a guy that has a hard time tapping other people, then maybe they'll stick it out. Who knows?
Well, this just might be a fight that we see them just banging it out, not wanting to go to the ground.
Well, the problem with that is if they do, then it's going to be over fast because these guys run out of gas fast too. This is not going to be the best fight you've ever seen. I'm going to just put it that way. Well, so far, a lot of moving around, not a lot of punching. There we go.
Nice right.
That right hand landed, but right after he landed, he ducked his head. Mike Darcy is the guy in the mohawk there, and well, I'll tell you what, man, they came to scrap tonight, both of them. Little foot stomps, little knees here. You guys are staying busy.
Dalton making some work of the ribs of Darcy there.
Yeah, Darcy has always fought with his head down like that. That's a really bad thing. You're going to eat a lot of knees, boy. And you just ate one right there. And then punch, and that's going to do it. That was
nice right.
It was typical Mike Darcy action there. Your referee, Ethan Andrews, stepping in, and I'm not sure what he's calling, but, I don't know. I don't think that was a foul. It was a nice right hand, as you mentioned, landed on the right side of the head of Mike Darcy.
Followed by a nice knee.
Yeah. Well, there's drama here. Your doctor, right, your ringside physician there, Mark Cacciamani, checking Mike Darcy out, see if he's all right. I'm not sure why we would restart this here. Looked like the fight was over, but we're coming back out. We're doing it again. And Darcy's got renewed energy. Boy, I'll tell you what. Now he lands a big right and left of his own.
Dalton responding with a bunch of punches and kicks, pushing him back.
I give these gentlemen credit. They're doing better than I thought they would. They're coming out and they're fighting. But there you go right there. Mike Darcy with his head down, eating knees. That's what he's famous for. And now Darcy's, I think, thrown in the towel, the proverbial towel. Jason,
when you're going up against someone like that that's ducking their hand, it's got to make you feel good, Well, there we go. Look,
it becomes less entertaining when he just curls up like that, and I'm glad your referee stepped in and stopped that one because it was a beating rather than a fight at some point, and Mike Darcy, he's an interesting character. He thinks he's tough, though. He really believes that he's tough. And I'm not saying that to insult him. He truly believes he's a tough guy. But he comes in and does this time and time again. And Jason Dalton coming away with a big win. All right, let's move things along here. Gabe Butler and Daniel Grass going to mix it up. Daniel Grass still got a black eye from last week. He's back again.
Yeah, a couple of tough guys. This should be an awesome fight.
Daniel Grass, we've mentioned, he's kind of that Gumby-looking character, and we saw old Gabe Butler a couple weeks ago. He beat up on old Mario Ortega, looked very good in the process, and again, we find the situation where both these guys train at my gym. Daniel Grass actually lives at the gym in the back room, and Gabe Butler comes in and trains there every day, and they've seen each other, they've sparred with each other, they know what each other has, and they're going to come in here and mix it up nonetheless. Touch of the gloves, and here we go. Daniel Grass wanting to pull guard right off the bat here. You know, and look, Daniel's got good enough flexibility that he could actually come around on top with this if he gets that hook in on the far side there. But he's not going to quite get it. But he's got good enough flexibility that he doesn't. I don't mind him pulling guard in a fight. I don't normally recommend that in an MMA match because you just pull the guy on top of you that can punch you. But with the flexibility that he's got, he's able to get some submissions that a lot of other people wouldn't be able to. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like he's trying to do a head scissor. That's just uncomfortable. That's not going to tap anybody any good anyway. He's been pretty offensive with his grappling though. He's not just kind of hiding and waiting like he did in his last fight. Looks like he's really going after submission attempts here and getting kind of close on a couple of them.
Butler doing a great job pushing it.
Yeah, he's pushing the action, but, that's a dangerous place to be. You've got a guy that's got a guard like that. I wouldn't hang out there, man. I would recommend pull your arms out, stand up, get around to the side. Don't just hang out there because Daniel Grass can surprise you. He's not the best submission artist in the world, but he's not bad, and he could put something on you.
Butler looking very confident.
Oh, is he hurt? What's Daniel doing? He's a weirdo, man.
I have no idea.
Oh, Daniel, he's a funny character.
You wonder what's going through the head of Butler.
Well, we all know. Everybody knows Daniel Grass likes to toke on a little grass. So I know what's going through his head. Are you high? Somehow in Daniel Grass's mind it made sense to do that. All right, Gabe Butler's got the back of Daniel Grass. He's got one hook in. He needs another hook in. There you go. Now he's looking to sink that choke in. Sinks that choke in. Daniel does a pretty good job of fighting off chokes, though. He's pretty good at that, and he's flexible enough that these punches can be actually problematic for a fighter. You see a lot of guys trying to do that backward punch. I don't really see a whole lot of logic in it, but Daniel Grass is flexible enough. He can put a little bit of sauce on those punches and make it a little uncomfortable for you at least. Daniel Grass arching up and trying. He's got to turn around. Doing a good job there. Don't leave something behind, though. He's fortunate that Gabe Butler doesn't know a whole lot of submission himself because that would be an armbar right there.
He's got the arm and the head.
Yeah. And, he's just not going for it. He's content to try to squeeze right there. And that's going to bring round number 1 to a close. We're going to take a break. When we come back, round number 2 and maybe even 3. Who knows the way this thing's going. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the Ultimate Combat Experience. If you're just joining us, you missed one heck of a round between Daniel Grass and Gabe Butler. Daniel Grass doing some funky stuff on the ground.
Very unorthodox.
And it paid off right there, though.
Yes, it did.
But, he's sliding across the mat on his knees, doing who knows what. And he's trying to knee bar here, and that looks like it's on pretty tight. Gabe Butler, you're not going to punch your way out of that. You're going to need to turn and kick, get out of there. Daniel Grass attempting some leg lock submissions here and not quite going to get it. And Gabe Butler dodges a bullet right there. You can see Gabe's grappling is very, very rudimentary. He doesn't understand position. He should have kept guard there. He's trying to do a guillotine without his legs being involved and just isn't going to work. Let go of the head and go back to square one. Get out from underneath, come around on top.
Butler's a pretty decent striker. You'd think he'd want to stay on the feet with Grass always wanting to go to the ground.
Yeah, and it's just kind of that natural inclination when you're kind of a novice fighter that you want to engage, you want to get in tight and do that, and you really shouldn't. Just stay up and pound away. You've got really good striking from up above, and Daniel Grass clearly is not a striker. He's somebody that just causes you fits on the ground, and so he's much better off on the ground, that being Daniel Grass, and Gabe Butler would be much better off on his feet. It's a great point, Todd.
And you got to give it up for Butler. I mean, no, he's not the submissionist that Grass is. Doesn't have as much ground game, but he's doing a great job of controlling the ground.
He's just a better fighter, you know what I mean? You're right. He's probably not as, and Daniel Grass is no expert submission artist either, but he's got a distinct advantage over Gabe Butler. Butler's just a tougher kid, and he finds position. His hips wind up on top most of the time. And he continues. He's relentless in his striking. Continues to pound away. So, yeah, I think Gabe Butler is in an advantage in just about every aspect of this fight.
Yeah, and time and again we talk about positioning. All about positioning.
Yeah, it's all about position right here. Gabe Butler doing a good job now, pinning the left arm down of Daniel Grass so he can strike. Didn't quite get it where he wanted to be, but did get a couple shots in. Daniel Grass let go of the head. Why do people do that? It drives me up a wall. I don't understand the head grab. I just don't get it.
More of a security thing?
It's just, I don't know, man. And Daniel knows better. That's the thing that kills me is Daniel knows better. I have no idea what he's trying to do there. All right, so round number 2 in the books, and it really was kind of a repeat of round number 1. Gabe Butler clearly and decisively beating Daniel Grass. Now we've got round number 3 underway, a touch of the gloves, and Gabe Butler picking up right where he left off with a 1-2 to the head of Daniel Grass. Nice kick, and he moved out of the way. Daniel Grass is counter punching, coming up just short. I think Gabe Butler's got a bright future in this game. He's super novice right now. He's making a lot of mistakes. Nice left hand there, though. But he's got a bright future. He could be good at this, and I'm excited to see what the future brings for him.
I think Grass knows he's down 2 rounds standing up here. He's got to do something big in this round.
Yeah, Grass, I don't know. He's kind of delusional. He may not know that he's down 2 rounds. Grass may think all that cool stuff he's doing on the ground there is winning him the rounds. I don't know. The thing about Daniel Grass is he fights almost every week. He's in here all the time. You saw him show up to the fight tonight with a black eye from last week. He does a lot of fighting, and he does a lot of training, but he just has his progress has been incremental at best, to say the very least. Looks like Gabe Butler trying to slip that shoulder choke on, but not really sure quite how to do it. And Daniel Grass just, I don't know if that's a move, but it's causing problems for Gabe Butler by putting his foot up there. I don't know what move it is, but it does cause you problems. When you got a guy that puts his leg in places that he shouldn't be able to put his leg. I really don't know. Now Daniel Grass trying to go with the choke. He's put the shin across the throat of Gabe Butler and trying to pull his head down into it. Gabe finally sensed what was going on there and pushed the foot down, and now he's no longer in trouble. Now you've got a reverse triangle on here, though, if Daniel Grass can do something with it. Oh, geez, a pile driver.
That's one thing about sticking the head out, Tuck that head. That could have been bad.
Oh, my gosh, that was almost really bad and very illegal. I'm really not sure why the referee didn't stop that, because that's super illegal. That could have been really a big... Now, this right here, I'm not sure what's happening.
Where do we go from here,
This
Mike?
party has gone downhill fast. Oh, boy. Well, if nothing else, they'll get to know each other very well.
Well, good thing this is a 21 and older show.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, so this happens with novice fighters from time to time. They get in positions like this isn't even in the books anywhere. Well, it's not.
You're looking at the wrong book.
Yeah,
Mike.
yeah, exactly. It's in magazines. But Daniel Grass still has that reverse triangle on, and he's trying to crank it down. Not quite able to get anything out of it, but this is certainly an interesting Yeah, he's too far. He's not in any trouble in that triangle. You can see he's got plenty of room in there, plenty of space for blood to flow. But nonetheless, he's giving Daniel Grass congratulations for at least that final attempt there. Nice show of sportsmanship here. After sniffing each other's rear ends for a little while, I guess you do become friends, right? And that's going to make it official there. Gabe Butler, your big winner over Daniel Grass. We're going to take a break. When we come back, Mafu Fosta making his return to the cage. Welcome back to the Ultimate Combat Experience. We're going to move into the heavyweight division. This right here is the most decorated fighter in UCE history. He's won more championship belts or more championship rounds. Back in the day, we used to give out cups instead of belts, and Mafu's mad because he's got like 10 cups and no belts. So he's making his way back into the cage for the first time in quite some time, going up against the kid that's been fighting quite a bit lately in Travis Timmerman. Travis Timmerman knows all about the lore of Mafu Fosta and says, man, I'm ready to take that title from him. He wants one of those belts, and Mafu had to break the news to him. I don't have any belts. I just have cups.
I'll tell you what, I really like Mafu. This kid is tough.
Nice kick. Oh, he's
very
a great
well-rounded.
Kid. He's a great kid. He's got a very different boxing style. It's that Pua boxing style, and he's really, really effective with it. But a nice kick to start things off and a nice takedown to follow it. Mafu is about as calm a grappler as there is. An interesting note about Mafu is he's only been doing jiu-jitsu for a short time, but he does tournaments all the time. He likes to compete in tournaments. And his very first tournament he entered in the black belt division. And he's been fighting in the black belt division ever since then and holding his own. He's a kid that doesn't have a ton of experience, but he'll go against anybody, and he goes against like college level wrestlers and black belt level grapplers and does well. I think he didn't know that he wasn't supposed to do that at first, but he did. And once you've gone black belt, you can't go back into the lower divisions. So he's kind of hung out there and done very well. It's not deterred him one bit.
Well, he's very comfortable, very relaxed, and just picking away.
You can see that. He's not at such a high level in terms of his experience, but he's at a high level in wrestling. Look how calm and cool he is in there. It's a very high level style of grappling. It's very, very kind of slow motion, if you will. It's very, very effective the way he does it. And that choke's going on, and that he's not going to get out of that. Travis Timmerman, that thing is going on like a boa constrictor, and you're going to be in a world of not good stuff here in a minute. I give Travis credit. He's fighting it off pretty good. There you go. If Mafu was kind of being nice about that. If he had arched his hips a little bit, that thing would have gone a lot faster. I think Mafu was just kind of being nice about the way he went about things. He's such a nice kid. Look at him over there having a little chit-chat with his opponent that he just beat up on.
He's almost too nice to be a fighter.
No, he really is. That's the one thing about Mafu. He doesn't have that killer instinct when he goes up against the high-level fighter guys, but he's a lot of fun to watch, and he's just a great kid to be around, so we love having him around.
Well, congratulations, Mafu.
He's still counseling that youngster. All right, let's move things right along here. Nathan Little and Thomas Smith. Now, Thomas Smith's a kid we've never seen before. He said he was a friend of yours, Todd.
Yeah, I'd never seen the guy.
Okay. Nathan Little said he was your friend, too.
Again. But hey, who doesn't want to be friends with the Greasy Biker?
That's right, man. Speaking of Greasy Biker, thegreasybiker.com is a place to go to check out some pretty awesome biker stuff. These guys, I'm not so sure they're biker material, but you never know.
I don't know either one of these guys, but there's a huge reach advantage.
Yeah, looked like Thomas Smith wanted to touch gloves, and Nathan Little had wanted nothing to do with it. And there you go. Oh, that was a big knee.
This is exactly what I thought it would be. A slugfest. This looks like something we see on the street.
Yeah, this is definitely street fight material here. And you know what? I give them credit. Both these guys are throwing and banging. They didn't come in here to chit-chat, that's for sure. Oh, he's trying a little choke there. So when you're mounted, you're not supposed to be able to choke your opponent, but you just never know in a level like this if this guy's going to tap to something like that. There's not a choke on, but it's going to be uncomfortable. And again, you're not supposed to reach up and grab somebody's head, but man,
it seems to be working.
It's working right now. He's in no real danger, not able to get his head out finally, but his neck's going to be sore tomorrow, I promise you that. Continuous punches, non-stop. I mean, that's got to give him credit again. There's a tap right there. All right, so Nathan Little getting a big victory over Thomas Smith in what was just a barn burner of an affair. Look, I think both these guys should feel good about what happened tonight. They came out and they threw down.
You got to give it up for these guys that come in here week after week, willing to step in the octagon.
They threw down, and it wasn't the prettiest thing we ever saw. They threw down, but hopefully we get to see these guys come back and do it again. We got more of this Ultimate Combat stuff. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the Ultimate Combat Experience. We've got the lightweights coming out next. Marcus Shelton. Don't know a lot about Marcus Shelton. I know a lot about this guy. He's one of my favorite guys ever to step into this cage here. Old Tommy Gun Wagner. Worst
Very
haircut
colorful guy
ever. But Tommy Gun has been around a long time. And when he first started, he just got beat up by everybody. And, he stuck around, man. And now he's won a few, lost a few. He's just a kid that really likes to come out here and fight. He's a street fighter by trade. That's what he calls his fight style. But he's starting to get better. He's starting to, big, nice jab there to start things off. And a nice takedown. Tommy Gun Wagner showing some good stuff to start things off.
He's not wasting any time. He usually doesn't.
No, he doesn't.
It's attack.
And you can see tattoos all over him that say TCG, Crip. He's a former gang member. He's gotten away from that lifestyle and used mixed martial arts to do so. But I tell you what, you meet some of the guys that are from the street, and they all give Tommy Guns his props, man. This is a kid. He grew up in a Tongan Crip gang. As a very small white guy, you'd have to kind of be tough to do that, and they all say that Tommy very much was.
Well, if you're going to be a white boy walking around with TCG on you better be tough.
And I tell you what, Tommy isn't the toughest in the ring or the cage, but he was feared on the street. Now, guys to this day still tell you they feared him. And he's a little guy, too. He's a 155-pounder, putting the damage on right now on Marcus Shelton.
Quick work of him.
Yeah, he is. This is going to be over here pretty quick. But, Tommy used to be the guy on the other side of this. He used to be the guy that came out and got beat up by everybody. He just didn't quit. And this is what will happen when you just don't quit. Tommy Gunn getting a big win tonight. Maybe you can afford some bigger horns. Oh, buddy, Marcus Shelton not looking so good. He's not feeling so good. That guy punched me in my head. That wasn't good.
Yeah, the first 2 seconds.
There you go. All right, Tommy Gunn is your winner. That's it. All right, so Marcus Shelton's not able to come out and shake hands or anything like that, so we're just going to move things right along with a couple of middleweights next. Andy Witt and J.R. Ochsenbien. Ochsenbien, the first into the cage, and don't know a lot about this kid. I think he's fought a time or two before in other shows. I don't think he's fought here before. Andy Witt, we do know a little bit about. He's fought here. Not the most skilled fighter, but he's a gamer. He's a lot tougher than he looks. He's not super pretty to watch, but he's a kid that you punch him in his face and he smiles, and that's the kind of kid that's got to scare you just a little bit, because Andy Witt, he comes with this very unassuming looking appearance, and he's going to give you a fight. You can always tell guys are kind of new when they wear gym shorts into the cage. And it's not so much that, MMA shorts make you tougher. It's just kind of a sign that you've been around a little longer. And these guys, clearly are a little bit novice. They're not super pretty to watch. But like I said a minute ago, Andy Witt's a kid that you want to keep your eye on, because he's tougher than he looks.
Again, you got to give it up for both of these guys stepping into the ring, you know.
Yep, looks like a choke attempt. I'm not really sure how to put the choke on, but I'm going to attempt it anyway. Says J.R. Ochsenbien.
You know, and a lot of times these guys have a plan coming in. Once you step in, it all goes south.
The second that cage door shuts, the plan leaves the building. And then the second you get punched in your face, the plan is definitely over and time to go back to the drawing board because that stuff hurts. Your referee for this contest, as Dave Sully said, you can see that he's just staying out of the way, man. He's staying back because these young guys, these new guys, you just never know, man. Those punches can come from anywhere, and sometimes as a referee, you can get caught in that. Andy Witt trying to choke with, once again, without position. It's one of those things that's going to be uncomfortable. But, you know, new guys, you never know. They get uncomfortable, and they'll tap to stuff that they probably shouldn't tap to. Right there, that's an uncomfortable position for J.R. Ochsenbien, but not anything that he should be concerned with in terms of not being able to keep his consciousness. But now Andy Witt pulling around and pulling him into guard, and this is kind of a tight situation. Ochsenbien able to get his head out, though. That was not a good spot, though. Ochsenbien's got long enough arms that he doesn't necessarily have to pass guard to land some big shots right there. He's putting the hurt on Andy Witt right now.
Yeah, he's doing a great job of controlling him.
Yeah, he is. It would be nice if he did pass guard. He'd have a much better shot of landing these punches more cleanly. But, you know, like I said, he's got long enough arms. He's still getting those things in. Now, Andy Witt coming up with the triangle choke attempt. I'm not so sure that Andy's submission ability is on par with getting this submission here, but he's attempting it. He's got to pull that left leg down into the crook of his right leg, and he'd have something. But right now, he's just squeezing. And again, it can be uncomfortable, but it probably shouldn't tap you out. Ochsenbien doing a good job of fighting it off, and now stacking into Andy Witt just a little bit, taking the pressure off.
You know, and this is where tightening up that technique comes into play. You know, a couple inches makes a whole difference.
No, absolutely. Ochsenbien able to get out toward the end there. Kind of a topsy-turvy round back and forth. Ochsenbien in control most of the fight until he got caught into a near submission attempt. We'll see what he can do in round two when we come back. Welcome back to the Ultimate Combat Experience, round number 2 of 3 scheduled rounds between J.R. Ochsenbien and Andy Witt coming at you here. Round number 1 saw kind of a back and forth action. Andy Witt made a submission attempt, albeit not a very good one. Ochsenbien able to really pound away. He was on top most of the round and threw some big punches over the top of Andy Witt's guard. And I would score that round for Ochsenbien. And now look at him from the outside. He's landing shot after shot to the body, to the head. And you don't see a lot of body shots with these new guys. Andy Witt coming around, getting on his back, though, and riding him down. That must have hurt. Power driving into the fence there. He hit face first into that thing, and that doesn't look like his face is messed up as I thought it would be.
No, but that was a great move. They call that the piggyback.
That's what it is. He's got a deep choke in here, but he's got to make it tight. Got to make it tight. There you go. He made it tight. And Andy Witt getting a big win. Look how happy he is, man. He's like, yeah, finally, I won one of these. Yeah, you know, he feels good about that. And, you know, Andy Witt's come in here the last several weeks and not fared so well. And finally getting a big win, and Ochsenbien's pissed.
Yeah, he's got to be happy about that. I mean, that was a good matchup for the two.
No, that really was. Nice job. He's got a smile from ear to ear right here, Andy Witt does. And as well he should. Nice job. Congratulations. All right, taking it back down to the little guys, man. Ronnie Rogers. This is an ornery little kid. This guy's ornery. He's little and he's ornery. Going up against Tory Mann. Tory Mann's he's a super happy kid, so you got Henry against Happy. Who's gonna win, Todd?
I don't know. Two little guys, both scrappy.
They look like spiders fighting when they get this little, man. I love watching them do it. Dave likes when these guys are little too. He likes to throw them around. He's always throwing around the little guys in here. Look at him go. Oh, buddy. Yeah, takedown there.
You know, both these guys really thin, not a whole lot of muscle or weight on them. So those punches hurt.
Yeah, they do.
You're hitting bone and muscle. That's
like
there.
Ronnie Rogers is trying like a choke from the side there. See, Dave likes to throw these little guys around. He likes to push them around, shove them around, tell him he's boss.
Man seems happy.
You know, he never does that to the heavyweights. It's weird. Oh, buddy. All right, there you go. Well, I'm not sure what's happening out there, Todd.
I don't know. They're moving so fast, I can't tell where one begins and the other one ends.
Well put. Well put. Tory Mann's on top right now. The Henry guy. Actually, it's Ronnie Rogers on top, and then the Henry guy's on bottom, right? I get him mixed up.
Mann's on top.
All right. The old proverbial head squeeze that's happening. Both guys are doing it, which is amazing. You don't see that a lot. Both guys doing the head squeeze.
I wonder if that's more of a, like a panic move. If something's sticking out there, you grab a hold of it and hold on because you feel like you have something.
That's exactly what
When
it
in
is.
reality, you're just doing yourself
You're just
bad.
wearing your
You're
arms
wasting
out.
energy.
Yeah, and you could be improving your position. You're taking up tools to do things that aren't really going to be of benefit. Somebody's bleeding under there. Looks like Ronnie Rogers might be bleeding from his grumpy face. Oh boy. Was that a tap? It might have been. And he's got like a neck crank on right now. It's not doing any. Oh, you can't knee to the head there. Look,
That looked
Dave.
uncomfortable.
There's Dave yelling at him, manhandling him. Dave's clearly on
And he
cycle.
smiles.
I
You
know.
gotta love him, man.
Dave, he's a one of a kind, buddy.
Yeah.
Get around here. It's time to fight, man.
You're gonna get your butt chewed out.
Oh my goodness, that guy kills me. We're still in round one, man. We're still mixing it up here in round number one. I think the knee to the head is why Dave broke it up. Because that is illegal, and that was a good thing to do. But Dave had to shove these guys around a little bit in the process. Another head squeeze and a return by a head squeeze.
Trying to pop the head. With some of these newer guys, they get locked up in that. They might tap. They might feel like they have nowhere to go and tap out.
I've seen it happen a million times. Yeah, it happens quite a bit, actually. Looks like blood coming from both fighters now. And looks like we're going to see the end of the first round here. Now, the big question is, will we see a second round? Look at both these guys are not having too easy a time getting up off the canvas. Oh, he quit. The guy who was on top quit. That's what you get for weathering the storm. Looks like Tory Mann coming up with a win here by his opponent quitting. So, all right, big win, man. When we come back, we're going to take a look at Cesar Santiago and Jesse Boyd. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the Ultimate Combat Experience. We're going to move into the light heavyweight division with Jesse Boyd here going up against Cesar Santiago, a couple of big guys here. We pointed out before, when guys have those gauges in their ears, they got to wear tape on them so somebody's finger doesn't slip in there and rip their earlobe off.
Two big guys. This should be pretty exciting.
Yeah, two big, strong-looking kids, no doubt about it. Cesar Santiago coming a long ways from way up north there, and Jesse Boyd from here in Salt Lake Valley, and both these guys come out like gangbusters to start things off.
You know, a lot of times we expect these big guys to come out and just start slugfesting. It's nice to see some of them come to the ground, see some of the ground technique.
It's not really technique here.
Well, we're just getting some head beating.
Yeah, there's some head beating going on. There's no doubt about that. Cesar Santiago's going to have a headache tomorrow. Looks like a choke being sunk in there, and some one hook going in. That choke's going on pretty tight. That's going to do it right there. That textbook, man. Take him down and submit him.
Boyd made some quick work of Santiago.
Yeah, he sure did, boy. That was quick work here. There, Aaron Garcia, the coach of that team Unbreakable down there in Payson is actually where they're from. All right, nice work. There's your winner, Jesse Boyd, getting his hand raised with a big win over Cesar Santiago. We've got one fight left in this evening's, what seems like a marathon of fights. Nick Martinez and Ruben Carlos coming up next, and Nick Martinez is going to be the first one into the cage. He's got some groovy moves, man. Ruben Carlos, a nice kid, Salvadorian kid. Almost too nice to be this fighter guy, but I tell you what, he's convinced himself he's a tough guy.
Well, he's good at getting his game face on there.
He does have a game face, that's for sure. Just doesn't have much game. Ruben's one of my good friends, been around for a while. When I say been around, he's been around the show for a while. He's come to the show quite a bit and recently stepped into the cage, decided he's going to be a fighter as well. Really wants it bad. Not sure he has all the tools necessary to be successful at this, but he wants it real bad. Both guys throwing a lot of punches, not landing a whole lot of punches there.
I think that's more of the nerves, you know, round getting going. They both look like they're scrambling a little bit.
Yep. This is going to be bad news for old Ruben Carlos, though. He's getting beat up on right now. That figure four around the body is just uncomfortable. It makes it hard to breathe for the guy underneath. It's just super uncomfortable, and it makes it easy to slip a choke in because they're worried about breathing down below, and then you can take it away from the breathing up on top as well. Ruben Carlos is not feeling very good about things right now. And he's doing a good job hanging in there, but I'm not so sure how long he can do this. That doesn't look very comfortable. Ruben doing a good job once again of fighting out the hands. Just got to get out from underneath. Can't stand there. The longer you stand there, the more likely this is going to happen right here. It looks like Ruben's already getting his tap hand ready. He's waiting for that choke to go in out of the way. He's got another minute underneath there. That's a tough spot to be in. I give Ruben credit, man. He's fighting this thing off. He hasn't tapped yet. He's not giving in, but that's super uncomfortable. He just gave in right there. That's a tap. That was more of his jaw being maybe even dislocated. You can get that neck crank on there. He wasn't choked there. It looked like he hurt his jaw.
Very uncomfortable.
It's going to be tough to smooch the ladies later tonight when that happens. All right, Team Unbreakable doing their thing. Nick Martinez getting a win for them over Ruben Carlos. They looked really good tonight. And what was a long night of fights, man. I'm worn out, Todd. I know you probably are as well.
I can't wait to get on my bike and get some wind in my face.
Oh, buddy. Todd, I got to tell you, I'm tired, man. That was a lot of fights.
Yeah, it was a lot of fights. Thank God a lot of them ended up in the first round. I'll tell you what, these guys were going hard tonight.
Otherwise, we'd have been here all night. So it's always fun to get some guys that you've not seen before come out and do their thing, and you just never know where they're going to wind up in the big scheme of things. It's also nice to see guys like Mafu come in and do their thing, and Daniel Grass. And so tonight was one of those kind of a mixed bag nights, and, you know, a lot of fun nonetheless.
Yeah, I had a great time. It's always fun watching those guys. Great fighters, great attitudes, great sportsmanship. Another fantastic night.
All right, before you hang it up for the night, go to thegreasybiker.com. Check out their website. They got all kinds of cool stuff. It's the ultimate combat experience. We'll see you next week.